Now we have our slices visible, but we can see the patient is standing on their head, and I doubt that the CT was taken this way, so we need to flip it over. So the way we're going to do that is, first of all, we want to make these slices visible. We can do this by the eye icon, and that will pop it up on the scene. But in order to get all three in one go, click on this link icon, close the eye and open it again. So close it and open it like that. Now we've got all three in the scene, but we want to move these into the center of the cube. So click on this icon over here. Okay. Now that we've got this visible, we can proceed in flipping this over by 180 degrees. So how do we do this? We're going to go to the transform icon over here. Transform, left click on it. And then we're going to create a new linear transform. Create new linear transform. Okay, you can name it whatever, or just leave it the way it is. And we'll see all these rows and columns. We don't need to touch those. We see the translation sliders and we see the rotation sliders. Now we are interested in the rotation sliders. Also, you see two boxes here, and this is, we select what we'd like to transform. So we're going to select our data file and click on this to put it into this box. Now, anything we do with the sliders is we will be able to see what's happening. Alright, so what we need to do is we look at this cube and we'd like to flip this around this axis. So if you can visualize taking this entire thing and moving it around like this. So we're looking at the pivot point would be the L and the R. Okay, so let's put 180 degrees in there. Okay, now everything else has disappeared, and we're going to then click on this icon over here. Okay, so at least we get this back into the front view, and we can see our little Dicom slices are way off the center of the cube. Click on this again. Okay, now we have turned it over. Okay, so here it's looking good, here it's looking good. Over here I'm looking, the nose is there. Ideally I want the nose to be pointing upwards. So this is when we're doing these Dicom, usually we have them pointing upwards. It's not mandatory to do that, but let us do that. So again, we're going to look at this cube and think, how would you rotate this thing? And it's quite easy. So we want to flip it over by 180 degrees by the S and the I. So I and S, we're going to put 180 degrees. Okay, and we're going to then click on this icon over here again, and we can see, okay, this is where it's put it. Click on this one there to put it back into the center. Now our Dicom is exactly where we want it to be to do implant planning. So we're going to now make sure this is selected, and we're going to solidify this transform, harden transform. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. So click on that one, and that puts it back in there, and that's permanently hardened this transformation, and we can now proceed.